Hey everybody, Dr. Nick here on Feel Good Friday. Today we're talking about the shoulder and why knowing the three components that contribute to shoulder motion are very important and are going to keep you safe and make your training more effective. So there's three components that work together to make your shoulder move. First, it's the glenohumeral joint, so it's the shoulder joint itself. Second is scapular motion, so it's the motion of your shoulder blade. And third is thoracic mobility, so that's the mid-back, so mobility throughout your mid-back. These three components have to work together for safe and effective shoulder function. If any of those three parts are restricted or are not functioning correctly, it's going to put extra stress on the other parts. And the most common thing that I see is neglecting scapular and thoracic motion and overstressing the glenohumeral joint. So let's take a dip for example. So when you come up for a dip, what's happening is your shoulder is going into extension. We have to remember the three components that make up shoulder motion. What I see all the time is forgetting about the scapula. So the scapula, in order to extend your shoulder, has to come back. If you neglect the scapula and you allow your shoulders and your scapula to tip forward, so if you allow this to happen, now when you go into extension, you're putting extra stress on that glenohumeral joint. That humeral head is coming forward in the joint, and that's putting pressure on the rotator cuff and the capsule of your shoulder, which can all lead to serious injury, especially when under loads. You want to bring your shoulders down and back. Then you want to descend into your dip. And this is what you want to avoid. Now with a dip, that's not always easy to keep your shoulders set down in that position because gravity is pushing you like this. So in order to set your shoulder blades, you need pretty darn good strength in the stabilizers of your scapula to keep you down like this and prevent gravity from letting your body drift up like that. Same thing with a row. If you're doing any kind of pulling movement, what I see a lot is forgetting that scapula. So you're pulling and you let the scapula tip forward and then you're getting all that extension through your joint only. And again, that pushes that head forward, puts stress on the rotator cuff and the capsule of your shoulder. What you want to do with a row, we're going to let the arms get pulled forward and then you're going to pull back, down and back with your shoulder blades and then follow with the joint motion. Thoracic extension is also very important with a row because if you're hunched forward, that's going to further cause that poor position of the scapula. So you want thoracic extension, shoulders down and back, and then you're going to pull. So you can see how this can be a problem with any upper body exercise. Take a bench press. If you don't lock your shoulder blades down into the bench, you're going to be more likely to let those scapula tip forward like this and then come down with the bar and push forward. Even a curl. If you don't have proper thoracic extension, and if you let your shoulder blades tip forward when you perform your curl, you're setting yourself up for injury. Don't forget the biceps crosses the shoulder joint. The biceps is a shoulder muscle and can be impinged just like your rotator cuff. You need to set those shoulders back, have good thoracic extension, and then perform your curl. So next time you perform an exercise that involves your shoulders, make sure you're paying attention to the three components that make up your shoulder motion: thoracic mobility, scapular mobility, and glenohumeral mobility. It's going to keep you safer and make your training more effective. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. and we'll see you next time. So there's three components that make up. So there's three components that. So there's three components that